What did we do for fun? Just roamed outside, played in the woods, just played. We were working in the vineyard because we were occupied by the French. But somebody told us that back in the vineyard there was enemy soldiers too, and nobody wanted to go back there. But my dad decided if he don't get the onions planted, we don't have any, so we went back there. And as we was working, these chumps came over the terraces, and when I looked up I saw 2 uniformed soldiers, and it scared me. And my dad has a hearing problem, so he didn't hear it. So I picked up a handful of dirt and threw it at him and made him look, and he said, just keep on working. And when they came, they asked questions like, where is this and where is that? And when they left, I was so scared. And when they left, one stopped and came back, and he handed me something. I didn't know what it was, but it was a Hershey bar. And I was too scared to eat it because I thought it was poison. So I took it home and I shared it with my brother, and that's the first time we had chocolate. And then the French came in our village and they shot all our chickens. I guess they wanted to eat them. Then they made a neighbor's woman cook them all. Yeah, they came in and I was in the house and they were in the chicken yard and they were shooting the chickens. My dad, I said, that's shooting the chickens. And when he looked out the window and they saw him, they waved him to come on, and they took him away. And we didn't know where they took him. He was gone like 3 days. But then he had a friend that was actually a prisoner from Alsatian country, and she looked for him, and they had him in that office questioning him, and she brought him back. But all our chickens was gone. School was very different. Our school was like 4 miles, and we had to walk to school. And during the war, that was bad. In the winter, we didn't have any socks or nothing, so we would wear these high-top shoes. I only had 1 pair. And we took newspaper and wrapped it around our feet. And when we got to school, we took our shoes off and took the newspaper off and put fresh newspaper on, because from the snow, the paper had gotten wet. And there was no coal, and the schools were heated with steam heat, like radiators, but there was no coal. So they installed in every classroom a stove, a wood stove, and each child had to bring 2 pieces of wood to school every day. That kept the fire going while we were there. My grandmother had a small field with beets. There were not sugar beets, but there were some beets that, I don't even know, they used them for the animals. And we were sitting there looking at them, and my brother, because he was younger, he had little scissors to cut loose, and I had this hook knife that was real sharp. So he said, hey, let's play barbershop. He said, I do the rough cut and you shave them. So he cut the beets, which stick a little bit out above the soil. So he cut the leaves off and I shaved it all real smooth, so it looks like all these bald heads was in the field. And when my grandmother went back there, she almost had a heart attack. And she told Dad about it. So Dad said, did you all have nothing better than do than that? He said, I'll tell you what, you guys are taking out the beets without any kind of tool. Because you would pull them out by the leaves, but the leaves were gone. So we had to take these beets out without a tool, and they were huge. So we took our fingers and dug little ditches around them and chickled them. It was hard labor. That taught us a lesson. That was not good. Even when you think of air raids and all that stuff, it is just a way of life. There was nothing that different. We didn't live no different. I mean, it was hard life, but people say, oh, that would have scared me. Yeah, it scared you, but that didn't change the way you lived.